Look, if you're like 99% of other streamers, you're probably streaming with this. So let's spend the next 5 minutes getting this to look more like this. My name is Harris Heller. I am your stream doctor. Welcome back to the Alpha Gaming channel. And today, let's talk about that pretty face of yours. This is a decent webcam. It's the Logitech C920. It's like 50 bucks, so it's super cheap. It's 1080p. It does a pretty good job. But if you're like your average stream, you plug it in, you fire it up, and it probably looks like this. Does this look pretty spot on? This is pretty standard camera quality for Twitch streams. So you save up some donations for a couple months, you go on Amazon and you order the $150 Logitech Brio, upgrading to a 4K 60 frame per second webcam. You're thinking, this is gonna fix all my problems. Comes in the mail 2 days later, you plug it in, and it looks exactly the same. And I'll tell you why. Even though one is 3 times the price, the problem isn't your camera quality. The problem is the amount of light that you're putting on your subject, or you. You see, every camera has a lens, and then behind that lens is a little sensor. Kind of like the modern day equivalent of the film. It's the thing that captures the image. It's the thing that the light eventually lands on. The sensor in both of those webcams is about 1/10 of the size of a micro SD card. Now compare that to the sensor of a Canon 5D like I use for my streams, which is about that big. What you need isn't a better camera. What you need is a light. Like this one. Take a look at that. How much better does this already look? Now I changed 2 things, and it's 2 changes that you should absolutely make to your stream. I turned off the ceiling light because the ceiling light was lighting the room around me, but it's behind me. It's lighting up everything but my face, which is the most important thing to light up. And I turned on this light right here, which is almost directly behind the camera. If you're trying to get your camera to look better on stream, there are 3 rules that you should follow. 1, get as much light as possible on the source. 2, try to get that light directly behind the camera. And 3, make sure your face is more lit than the room behind you. The foreground should always be better lit than the background. If you can follow those 3 rules, your stream's gonna look pretty good. Now I actually use 4 or 5 lights in my stream setup, and it looks like this. Now I think this looks a lot better. Let me show you what I did. I've got lights 1, 2, 3, and then 1 in the background that you can't see in this shot. The main light is to light up my face. The second one is to light up this edge to distinguish me from the background. This one over here is just to make the background blue because I think it looks cool. And then this one appears to edge light this side a little bit red, which is the opposite of blue, again to distinguish me from the background. If you want to do something really cool like this, I linked some really cheap colored lighting in a recent video. I'll put the link in the description below. A solid camera upgrade can cost you hundreds, if not thousands of dollars. This camera right here is actually a $5,000 rig because I use it every day for YouTube videos, and I have for years. I just plug it in for my streams because I have it. But this light right here is $50 for a pack of 2, and you only need 1. So if you and a buddy both want to stream, go halvesies in on it. You just made hundreds of dollars of camera upgrades for 25 bucks. Of course, link to this light in the description. But now you've hooked your lights up, your camera looks 100 times better, you want to go the extra mile. Let me help you with one more detail. We're going to switch back to our webcam. Now, webcams like this, especially this one, they have a habit of being low contrast and undersaturated, kind of making them look a little bit dull. Let me show you how to fix that. If you go into your sources in OBS, and you right click on webcam and go to filters, you can add something called color correction. Now in here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna brighten up the contrast a little bit. Brighten up the saturation just a little bit. You don't want to oversaturate it, that makes it look ridiculous. Let's bring down the gamma a tiny bit. That brings down where the mids lie. And then lastly, just because this light is a little bit white and the camera kind of whitens your skin a little bit, makes you look kind of pale, you know, like you live in your basement. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the white balance here. We're gonna add a little bit of a tan hue, just a little bit, like really just a little bit. Take a look at what it does to my skin. I went a little too far with that one. Let's bring it back. There we go. That looks good. And look at that. Before, after. Before, and after. That looks a lot better. Feel free to screenshot these settings right here and put them right to your own camera. You might have to tweak some a little bit depending on your room and your lighting, but for the most part, this should work for you. And that's it. You've now made thousands of dollars of upgrades to a $50 camera by spending like 25 bucks. I hope this helps. If it does, tweet at me, let me know. Also, make sure you jump in the Discord where we have a Stream Doctor text channel there waiting for you to help. And make sure you jump in the live Twitch streams. I stream just about every night, and we've got a pretty dope Twitch fam. Leave a comment below if there's any videos you'd like to see me make in the future. And as always, happy streaming.